Carl, do you want to go over Raw this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and keep it brief, even though, it's a 3-hour fucking slog every week. So there's still a lot to get through, but it kicked off with the Becky, a Becky promo, as we've just been discussing then, which again was pretty flat. It was just kind of the same old shtick of her going, oh well, you won, so I'm going to fight you. You come from a cage, and I'm not meant to beat you, but I am going to beat you. And she just waffled on and didn't really have anything to say. And then surprisingly didn't get interrupted, or there was no interference whatsoever. And then she just left, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah. Very paint by numbers.
Yeah, it was just like,
you think you can beat me, and I think I can beat you, and we'll see. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much where we were with it. Yeah.
Well, that's it. It didn't even seem like where she's trying to be badass and stuff like that. It was just more of it's almost like, oh well, I should be scared of you, but I've been beating people who they say I can't beat, so you're just going to be another one. Okay, thanks, bye. And it was just like, what a weird way to open up the show.
Yeah,
just felt odd.
Very unusual. But as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of any of her promos anyway. But this out of her promos, this was probably the weakest one I've seen.
Yeah, it just lacked substance. I think, considering a couple of weeks ago, Shayna had bit a fucking chunk out your neck, and then she's gone on and won the Chamber, which is obviously her desired outcome because she wants to exact revenge for that. Just seemed like she didn't really have much to say.
See, I think they've done the neck biting thing just way too soon. Because if she'd have not really had any feelings towards Shayna up until the Chamber, and then Shayna won it, and then Becky's doing a promo, and she come out, and then it all kicked off, and she bit her, then you could keep that anger about being bitten fueled until Mania. Whereas right now, she bit her that long ago, that many weeks ago, that the anger's plateaued. So you're like, Becky should be mad about this, but she's had plenty of weeks to be mad about this. So we're kind of just like, yeah, that happened ages ago, Becky, get over it.
That's a very good point. I feel like they have just done it in the wrong order. Like, if she would have been open to all challenges and, she'd beat them all and she'll beat anyone else, and then Shayna dominates the Chamber the way she did, then
exactly.
Then comes out and
How simple would it have been? How simple could it have been, right? They don't mention Baszler at all until Chamber. We have a surprise entrance in the Chamber, blacked out Chamber like they've done in the past. It's Shayna. She comes out, wrecks everyone, and then, like, wow, she's going to go into the title picture. That came out of nowhere. And then she goes into the feud with Becky. It would have been so much easier. It would have been better for us as the viewers. I don't get why they didn't do it.
I mean,
come on, Heyman.
I'm telling you, anyone listening to this, so Ricochet, if you want to, get your job back, just go and slip this on to Paul Heyman or to Vinny M, and then maybe they can get some good storylines going. But yeah,
damn right.
All in all, pretty flat way to open Raw, and then the first match of the night was the other two Mexicans. So at the Chamber we had Humberto and Andrade. So then it was, you have to have Ray versus Garza for some reason.
Well, of course, because Ray's around, so naturally he's put into a match against any other lucha. That makes sense.
Yeah, so they have that match. I thought Garza, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Rick Rude with this gimmick. I think on the way to the ring, he went up and kissed one of the female fans. He's meant to be like this ladies' man thing, isn't he? I still don't understand the relationship between him and Zelina Vega, because in kayfabe it's meant to be Zelina and Andrade a couple or something. So
now, Carl, I think they made it very clear in a backstage promo. It's purely business.
Well, yeah. I don't understand. Yeah, I just don't understand why they're together. That feels like another one, but we've got a Latina valet. Let's stick her with another Mexican. Yeah, it just seems weird. But
yeah,
the match itself.
And I think it. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say the match itself was okay, but they had Ray win it. I'm not really sure who that helped.
Yeah. So get back in your place. That's what it was.
Yeah. So
raise the flippy spinny guy around here, for fuck's sake.
But it was like, so I was harping on about Zelina Vega, but it's because she may as well just not even be fucking being there. She didn't do anything. She didn't do any like heel tactics, any distractions, anything to, help.
And it's like, that's a good point. Like, what were you there for?
Exactly. So it's
For
like
a row seat.
Yeah, so it's not very good business if that's what the relationship is, because you did fuck all and Ray won, and yeah, random.
Yeah, I never considered it like that. To be honest, I think her being a valet is kind of hindering. I mean, she can wrestle, right? I've seen her wrestle before. She's not bad.
Yeah, apparently so. I don't really recall any of her stuff. Of how good she is.
Well, if you'd like her, I don't know if you recall her from this, Carl, but have you seen Fighting with My Family?
Oh shit! Yeah, did she play AJ?
She played AJ Lee.
That's mad. That.
And it's available on Netflix right now. Did you know that?
Oh, Netflix. Interesting.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
For just $9.99 a month, probably.
Just a quick word from our sponsors. Are you stuck at home in isolation with coronavirus? Do you want to Netflix and chill? Well, you can also watch Fighting with My Family, starring Zelina Vega as AJ.
Nice.
And we're back.
Love it. What a segue. Yeah, and to be fair, I imagine Netflix subscriptions will be going up with this whole Corona thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So will probably, the population, because while it's killing the older generation off, if you're stuck at home with fuck all to do, you are going to Netflix and chill, and then the new generation will arrive. So.
Yeah, in about 9 months.
It's going to be a busy Christmas.
As a quick side note, before we go on to the next match, it was good to see Raw, obviously, just before, I think, all the, I don't want to say panic stations, because there is legitimately something going on, but they were able to be in front of an audience, which sadly wasn't the case for the rest of it. And I think NXT got a small audience, but it was all from the Performance Center, whereas I think Raw was the last actually stadium booked event this week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be weird, isn't it, to see it go ahead without any fans in attendance. But I suppose we will fondly remember this version of Raw just for the fans alone, at least for the short.
This is going to be the thing. This is sadly memorable for all the wrong reasons, but we're probably not going to forget these few weeks in wrestling right now, or the mania that nearly won't happen. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know how it's going to play out, but I'm sure we'll chat through that in the ringside report. But yeah, it's crazy times.
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, Ray v Garza. Yeah, weird that Ray won. Totally agree.
Just again, just felt like more filler. And then there was your other
and a nice big squash.
Well, yeah. So there was straight into another promo, because obviously they like having this little format that they have. So this promo was
paint by numbers.
Well, yeah. This time it was Charlotte coming out, and for some reason, again, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get that you need to keep it in people's minds that you're having this match at WrestleMania and stuff, but just comes out every week and just says fuck all and then woos. And then this time, Rhea Ripley comes out and kind of goes face to face with her, and then does a really botched slap punch, and then Charlotte throws herself to the floor. It was bad. If anything, it hindered the build for that than helped it, in my opinion.
Well, you'll be pleased to know we get more of that on NXT.
Yay, can't wait.
Yay.
So then that happened, and then straight into another match, which was a Lashley versus Zack Ryder match, and it was just a straight up squash. I think it lasted probably around a minute, if that. Just absolutely squash Ryder. So I don't really understand.
Oh, Ryder.
Well, exactly. I don't like. I feel so bad for that guy. I was made up when he won the IC title at Mania a few years back, after everything that he went through and stuff. with all those fucking shitty angles and trying to do stuff for himself and then not getting rewarded for it. But to now see him back with what's the other fella called?
Hawkins.
Yeah, so they're kind of a part tag team, part not. But yeah, I don't understand what's going on with Lashley because I think apparently Lana was filming a movie or something, which is why she wasn't there. But I don't know what they're trying to do with him. On the one like a few weeks ago, he was nothing. He didn't even bill him as a monster. He just kind of came out, lost most of his matches, or beat Rusev, and that was it. And then now they're kind of trying to make him squash people just out of nowhere. So yeah.
Yeah, and then where's Rusev? I take it he just doesn't care anymore. Like,
no idea.
He's had his moment. He's done with it. He's just sort of disappeared now. No more feud. And I don't even feel like they ended that properly, I'll be honest.
Well, do they ever end anything properly? I hope he's not getting any...
Do you honestly remember like a big match between Lashley and Rusev over this? Because I genuinely don't. I don't remember them finishing this.
No, I think they had a few, but they just kept going and kept going. And then he was meant to be...
I was waiting for that one big match, that one big pay-per-view match where it's like, yeah, that's it, done. You know, kind of like that massive, big, huge match between Corbin and Roman Reigns.
Which one?
You know, where you go, the sixth one.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Where you go, this is definitely done now. And then they have a cage match after. But, you know, something that makes you go, right, that's the feud done. And it just felt like it was like, oh, is it done? Okay.
I still maintain they should have done a Lana on a pole match.
They should have, yeah.
The only way to end that feud.
Yeah.
So
well, you know, she was on the casting couch this week, so she might not be in the WWE. That's the right terminology, right, Carl?
Sounds right to me. So again, that match happened for some reason, and then the next one, I'm kind of fuming about, to be honest. So they had Drew, and Eric Rowan face off.
Yeah, they did.
So I don't get this. So they've been building Drew up now, having him kick the ass of loads of different people to kind of build him as like he's strong and he can't compete with Brock. But at this point, you know, having him beat Rowan, is that really doing anything for Drew? Because it's not like Rowan is fucking this unbeatable guy. They've had Aleister Black beat him the last fucking 2 Raws. You know, it's not like he was coming off this like momentum as the big guy because that had finished long ago. So they had this happen, and then just out of nowhere, he kills the Spider with the steel steps.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He certainly did.
Like,
for me, this felt very slapped together. I feel like they turned around and went, okay, we fucked up on the Rowan cage thing. And then they've gone, right, well, we need to box that off, get rid of that. And we need to do something with Drew this week so people don't forget what he looks like because we're all goldfish, apparently. So they put him in a match and then made sure that the whole Spider thing was done and dusted. And I feel like it just felt very slapped together to box both things off to go, right, well, that's a tick for Drew being on the show and looking strong, and that gets rid of the really poor fucking decision we made. And that's all it looked like to me. I don't think it was ever intended. I think it feels like a really rushed last-minute fucking thing there.
I think, like, because I'm quite a big Drew mark, and if anything, this pissed me off because I wanted to see them do something with that fucking Spider. So if anything, it made me dislike Drew because I was just like, why the fuck have you just killed the Spider?
Well, that's the thing. It was actually almost a dick move because Drew's not being booked as a heel.
Exactly.
So, like, imagine any other scenario. Let's take away the fact that it's a stupid fucking gimmick and it's a toy Spider, right? Imagine you have a match with Drew. You're like, yeah, I'm a wrestler and I'm going to wrestle Drew. He's a good guy, right? And then you lose the match. And then he's like, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to kill your dog. Like, the fuck is that?
That's a proper tickle. I think I'd actually, I'd quite like to see that. To be fair, just goes rogue. You just have a little cutscene to in fucking Minnesota somewhere or Canada, wherever Brock lives now. Drew just sneaks in and just fucking claymores his dog in the head. Always hear that.
This is the trouble I've got with it. Is like it's such a heel thing to do. If you pull away from the fact that it was a mechanical spider, he's just killed his pet for no reason. This is just a weird bloke who likes to bring his pet to the ringside with him, and Drew's like, "Yeah, I'm going to kill it."
Yeah,
it was really kind of weird.
It was awful. That and fair dues. Maybe they have thought, okay, we fucked up the what's in the cage storyline, but fucking hell, just stick with it. Just stick with something. They always just bottle it.
Yeah. Just finish your fucking storyline for once.
That's it. It's like, do something funny with it, or you know what I mean, and then get rid of it. They've had it going on for so long. Fucking showed it once. It was a bit cringy, and then they just literally murdered it. Literally, the fucking week after.
Do you know what? Right, straight away, and again, this is one of them things where I think I'm saying something that's like really good. Right, all they had to do to sort of slightly fix that for me, because it could be shit, right, is have like some sort of comic relief, right? Have Rollins or somebody even, right, just sort of go over and acknowledge it's a fake spider anyway and put his hand in, right? And it'd be a real tarantula that time.
Well, yeah.
And he'd proper lose his shit, right? And then at least that'd get a chuckle out of me. Do you know what I mean? Because we all know it's a fake spider, so have somebody acknowledge that. And then turns out Eric was just screwing with them and there's real spiders in there or whatever. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anything. They could have done anything with it other than going, well, that didn't work. Let's literally squash that.
Well, exactly. They could have even had him fucking preach to the spider and try and convert it to, be part of the fucking Messiah thing. They could have done anything with it. Could have went anywhere, and they just shit the bed. And it's like
they really did.
I don't think we're going to see Eric Rowan now for a while because that was the thing that was getting him TV time. They fucked it up. They killed the spider, so he's gone now, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's not going to be. Yeah. There's nothing for him.
Yeah, it's a shame as well because if it was like Seth's spider, they'd probably had a fucking eulogy this week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But very, very unusual booking, and I feel like it was just slapped together to get rid of a couple of problems.
Yeah. So I was quite disappointed in that. And the next match they put on was the Kabuki Warriors against Liv Morgan and Natty, which made fucking zero sense.
Yeah. Again, another one. It's like, we need a tag team. There you go.
Yeah, like, I don't understand where that's come from at all.
Yeah.
But okay.
And if they hadn't have randomly made Liv Morgan hate both Sarah Logan and Ruby Riott, maybe they could have put one of them in there with her.
Well, exactly. And then obviously Ruby Riott comes down to the ring.
An actual tag team.
Just to watch, she's not getting involved, blah, blah, blah. Ends up in a distraction. Then fucking Sarah Logan gets involved as well. And then them three end up, brawling, which distracts Natty, who ends up losing the match. So I don't really know where they're going with this triple threat thing.
Yeah, so I wasn't overly invested in Ruby Riott feuding with her for sort of out of nowhere anyway. But then Sarah Logan just randomly going, "Me too," is kind of weird.
Yeah,
and it's not even like she's on anyone's side. She had a bit of a tussle with Ruby Riott as well, so it's like they've all fallen out.
Yeah, it feels lazy.
But it's such a progressive company who's like women's revolution, where they're like, "Oh, bloody women, they can never get along." Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's it, and I feel it's bad for Liv because I thought since she came back, a gimmick was really good. Like the weird little facial expression and stuff that she pulls is quite good. She's improved in the ring as well. I thought she put in a good showing at the Chamber in the short amount of time she was in there before she got fucking thrown into the side of the cage. So it's just a shame, I think, to see her in this because she got brought back to be involved in the Lana thing, which was obviously shit hot, like at the time for some reason.
Yeah, and now it's like, oh no, she's not.
Yeah, so
okay. But to me, I totally agree with what you're saying there. Like, they sort of let her mature as a person and as a wrestler, so it felt very organic. And yeah, they've just fucked it up, booked it wrong.
Same old story.
As WWE like to do. But yeah, again, I mean, I'm finding the Kabuki Warriors weirdly captivating at the minute because I have no idea what they're saying, but God, they're having fun.
They're crazy, aren't they? They
It's
never
fucking weird, man.
like. Can they not just come out and just speak at like a normal volume? It's like they're always like no. Fucking.
Yeah.
She looks fucking scary. Ask her.
Yeah.
Scary.
I mean, her makeup's running quite a lot. But no, it's like, and again, I won't talk too much on it because it's a SmackDown thing. But even this week on SmackDown, it was like it's not just coming out and doing stuff. It's like kind of weird, but to the point where I'm like, what are they doing? It does catch your attention, but I don't know, probably not for the right reasons. She's like, well, it's fucking strange.
Yeah, no idea.
But at least they're a proper tag team. They have a name and everything.
Well, that's it. And they've got put together because they're both Japanese, which is how all good tag teams start.
Yeah. It's WWE, man. They're so behind the times, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can just see it now. Vince just sat there like, well, you're both black guys. Tag team. I'm confident that's what they did with the Street Profits anyway.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's just, diversity. They don't like it.
No, not at all. But, yeah, so that match happened for some reason.
Yes.
Okay. And then going on to another promo. So this time it was AJ cutting a promo on The Undertaker. And, God, it was a bad promo.
I hate to say it, Carl. This is where you and me are going to differ in opinion.
Oh, no.
Believe it or not, I enjoyed this.
Did you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, right? Because I've heard that the Taker we're getting at WrestleMania is not going to be Deadman. It's going to be American Badass or Biker Taker, essentially. Now, a lot of people might not like this, but it tweaks my nostalgia because that was the Taker I had when I started. When I started watching WWE in the Attitude Era, that was the Taker I had, and I like that. But on top of that, it lets it get to this sort of point of like, and this isn't reasons to like the promo, but the fact that they're letting Taker be a person is useful because now you can see him on social media. You can see him act like a person. He's not. He's a strange man. But not strange. That's mean, really. But Undertaker, he's a dedicated person. So when he's in character, I've heard that when he's being the proper Undertaker, the undead, he doesn't really interact with people. He stays in character, as it were. But when he was the American Badass, he'd happily interact with the audience and stuff. And you can kind of see that when you watch old shows. But it lets him be human and have a wife and be around on social media and stuff without ruining sort of kayfabe, as it were. And it makes sense because he's an old-fashioned wrestler, so kayfabe's important, not like thrown out the window like it is these days. But it let the feud get a bit more personal, and it makes it a bit more. For me, it makes it a bit different. Everyone's gone up against the dead man, whereas AJ's almost going up against Mark Calloway. I'm intrigued. I like where they're going with it, and I don't mind AJ on the mic. He's not the best I've ever seen, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I'll honestly say I enjoyed that promo.
Yeah, I didn't. I have a problem with promos where they try and kind of break the fourth wall and they start referring to people by their real names to be edgy and oh, by the way, he's got a wife, Michelle McCool, yeah, and it didn't even make sense. He was like, oh yeah, he only does stuff because of her, and it just I don't know what he was even trying to fucking say. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't heard this rumor of him coming back as the American Badass, which if he does, it'll obviously be interesting. I'm not really sure how they would transition that since he's been showing up as the dead man. Is it because of this promo he's just going to change his mind? I don't really know how they would play that.
That's a fair point.
But I don't know. It just didn't make sense. It didn't do anything to escalate the feud. It it just made wrestling look silly. You know what I mean? It's like, well, actually, yeah, he is just a guy called Mark Calloway. Why does he come out with a fucking dressed like an Undertaker and believe he's dead? You know, do we not need to get this man some fucking psychological help? Like,
I love it. That's a fair point.
So I don't know. I mean, the promo itself, I don't think was bad from AJ, but the tone of the promo where it was making it all real lifey, and he didn't have to go that far. Like, he could have just said like, oh well, you know, Undertaker, I would have been scared, you know, to call you out a few years ago, but you're an old broken man now. But that would have been fine. But it's like, but yeah, you're Mark Calloway and your wife's Michelle McCool. It's like, what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, I think, and I'll still stick with what I'm saying, that I enjoyed the promo, even though I'm going to be slightly critical at this point. For starters, I think ever since CM Punk done that shoot with Triple H, where he's like, this is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque and stuff like that, I think they love breaking the 4-4 when they can in that sense. Is that the 4-4? Breaking kayfabe. But the Michelle thing, I do think it was probably just, there was apparently this faux pas, wasn't there, where WWE put out a thing about women in wrestling and sort of excluded it. And then The Undertaker got a bit pissy by all accounts and mentioned it on his Twitter. And then they sort of, tail between the legs, kind of then edited it and included her in it. And I think they might be trying to pull her into a storyline, almost as a bit of an apology. I could be wrong on that, but it seems odd that they're now mentioning Michelle deliberately after this omission that pissed him off. And I think that probably buys into the whole thing of like, you know, he's clearly a person because you've upset his wife. Do you know what I mean? And that wasn't a storyline. That apparently, you know, he was actually. Some people suggest that he doesn't really use the social media, and that was Michelle. I don't know whether there's any truth to that, but he's not really on his social media a lot in the putting up statuses kind of sense. But he certainly did react to that.
Right.
So I don't know if it might be a reaction more than anything.
I think that'll be interesting. I think the point you make about the CM Punk thing, where I think he did do one of his promos where he said something like, "This isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H. This is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque," or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, which, okay, fine. But for this one, he was just basically, AJ Styles didn't go, "Hi, I'm actually Alan Jones. AJ Styles is just my ring name." You know what I mean?
Is his name Alan Jones?
Yeah. So,
wow, that's got to be the whitest name I've ever heard.
Well, there you go. But it's, you know what I mean?
That doesn't. No wonder he goes for AJ Styles. That does not sound badass even slightly.
Well, exactly. But it's stuff like that which annoys me, because it's not. You know what I mean? If you're going to call the guy out and be like, "Oh, you're actually just Mark Calloway," then, like, I don't know. Are you trying to be real? Like, in which case, are you being the real you, calling out the real him? Or, I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah. I take your points. And like you say, a lot of the original promo could have still worked and would have worked, because I enjoyed it, but I still would have enjoyed it if they'd have took out the stuff that you didn't like. Do you know what I mean? So there could have been something there that made us all happy. Yeah.
But I think, to be fair, if you've heard rumours about an American Badass thing, then I can see why, you know, that if that is going to be true, then this would be kind of, I can see how this would be the wheels in motion to making that happen. But with me not having any prior knowledge of that potentially being a thing, I just thought it was just didn't land for me.
So you see, this is the problem though, because a promo shouldn't need prior knowledge. That is a rumour I've heard. True or not, you shouldn't need that information for that to work. So you could call it a fuck up in that sense, because I was aware of that rumour and that helped. So then that shouldn't be the case. So you could call it a fuck up for that reason, really.
In that case, although
we might we might get a bit more credence to the rumour this week, because I believe he's one of the people billed to turn up to the empty arena.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So and then we had who's that guy who holds the 24/7 title? Karl. Right, tell us a bit about him.
Yes, Riddick Moss, the man, the myth,
Riddick,
the
that's
legend. The Chronicles of Riddick Moss. That was in sync. That was literally in sync. Yeah, so I don't think they understand what a 24/7 title is, if I'm honest. They should have just called it the TV title. It's not just meant to be a title that only gets defended on, every week on TV. It's meant to be a 24/7 title, so make your fucking mind up. It's either the type of title where fucking shenanigans can happen anywhere and everywhere like it was, or it's a fucking TV title, which is what you're treating it as now. I understand they're probably trying to bring a little bit more, prestige to it by showcasing it in proper matches and things like that, but I don't know. It feels fucking pointless. But this week he was fighting Cedric. Not the Entertainer. Cedric Alexander. And yeah, it was okay. It was another decent-ish match, but again, it's just I don't care about it. Like, I don't care about that title as a TV title, because that's not what it is. It's meant to be the 24/7 title. And I used to love the hardcore title back in the day with the 24/7 rule. And we, just between you and I, when we've been chatting on this podcast of, unique ways that you can do things with that title, it just doesn't make sense that they're now treating it as a TV title. And it's not even like the mid card; it's like the lower card. And I don't even feel like they've got a proper mid card title, because the US title doesn't feel like that at the minute. So
yeah,
if I don't care about the mid card
title, right?
Yeah, if I don't care about the mid card title, I'm not going to give a fucking ounce of a fuck about the lower card title if it's treated the same as just another belt. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. They really needed to lean into the fun of what it was. They should have had, like, Riddick, Cedric, whoever's got the title. They should have had them at, like, Burger King, and then suddenly having to defend the title and stuff. They should have just leaned right into what it is, but instead they're trying to legitimize it, I guess. But that's not, like you say, it's totally not what it is. We've already got a US title that needs a bit of help.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like if they're not going to lean into it, just get rid of it. Like, it's ugly as fuck as well. I remember when Mick Foley unveiled it, and I was like, what is that? It was awful.
Yeah, the green strap just doesn't help it at all. It's not a fucking good belt at all.
No, it's piss poor. So yeah, couldn't give a fuck about it. Couldn't give a fuck about the match.
Yeah.
I don't really know who this Riddick Moss guy is, but if they're trying to bring prestige to a title, no offense to the guy, but if I don't even know what the fuck he is, I'm not going to care. So at least put it on someone who, you're going to care about and would actually bring a bit of prestige to it.
Come on, you must know who Riddick Moss is. He's the man who changed the 24/7 title. It now doesn't get defended 24/7.
Oh,
thanks to Riddick Moss.
I hate him even more, the prick. So yeah, so that happened, and then the next kind of thing. See, I'm not sure whether I tuned out a little bit at this point, but MVP comes out, and did he start? Yeah. Did he start chatting shit about wanting to start as his own stable?
Yes, he did. He once again said that he is his in-ring days are behind him, but he's still got something to offer. And he said stable, but in the sense of, like, he needs to add some good quality wrestlers to his stable. So he never, like, out and out went, I'm starting this group or anything. But then, referred to the fact that Edge would be, because, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? A man whose neck's been surgically repaired, has quite a limited lifespan, and is quite old, is the perfect guy to front your stable, MVP. A man who's roughly in the same boat as you, but albeit in much better condition physically. It would be, why not?
Well, I mean, I
feel like he's actually genuinely trying to start the OAP faction.
They should totally do that. The authors are paying the AOP versus the OAPs. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got them. The Taker's there. Austin's coming back this week. We've already got Oldberg with the title. Why not?
I mean, definitely. But I think I'm pretty sure Edge is fucking way older than MVP as well. So it doesn't make any sense if MVP is coming out saying my in-ring days are behind me. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure that Edge is way older than MVP anyway. So if MVP is coming out saying, my in-ring days are behind me now and I'm going to start a stable, why the fuck would you start it with someone whose fucking in-ring days are also pretty much behind them? Yeah, it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, weird.
And then obviously Edge comes down, basically for whatever reason, saying he wants to find Orton, obviously, to get revenge for what he did to his missus and what he did to him. And then Orton, tries to do the sneak attack and stuff, and then kind of retreats. Edge gets the spear on MVP, and then, of course, why not? He'll fucking smash MVP's head in for some reason. So, again,
I really didn't like that.
They're not doing a very good job of making, the good guys seem very good. I mean, we've got Drew McIntyre killing people's dogs. And then, you've got fucking Edge, crippling old men. So, and these are the good guys.
I didn't understand that mentality. It's like, the worst thing MVP's done to your Edge was be a bit of a dick, right? And I'm totally with you there. He was a bit of a dick. But that man's got kids. And, kayfabe-wise, it put you out for weeks. So why are you doing that to someone? It's crazy.
Exactly. Didn't make any sense at all. At the end of the day, he's come there to get revenge, for what's happened to him, what's happened to his wife, and he should be getting that revenge on Randy. To use MVP as some weird pawn in this didn't really do the job of, making you sympathise with Edge. The whole point was he's just come back from fucking, is having a neck surgery problem that meant he couldn't wrestle, to now be in the green, given the green light, and that gets taken away from him. You meant to sympathise with him, and then literally the minute he comes back, he fucking destroys someone else's neck. It's like, what the fuck? Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can imagine that conversation he's had with Beth later that night over dinner. Like, I went back to Raw and got revenge, honey. I've put MVP in the hospital. And she's just like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, Randy got away, but don't worry, I took it out on someone else. It just, doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
I understand that they want to build suspense between him and Orton. They don't want to give anything too much until Mania, but it's not, when he's not the heel, it doesn't make a bit of sense to do what he did.
No, I think it's just the wrong execution. I think, don't get me wrong, this Orton and Edge, rivalry for Mania has definitely got the best build, and it's got the most kind of story behind it. But I feel like this didn't do anything to help that. If anything, it was just it just feels like every time they do something good, they drop that ball all the time. It's just a shame to see.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know what it is, because they do build up stuff really well, but then something just fucks it up every time.
Yeah. So that happened anyway, so it'll be interesting to see what happens off the back of that. And then the final match or matches of the night was, they were building towards Aleister Black and Seth Rollins, which was actually a match I was quite looking forward to, because I didn't really know how it was going to go, because obviously they've been building or pushing fucking Aleister Black to the moon, and Rollins, he's not exactly losing a lot of the time either. If he does lose, it's via tag team, and it's Murphy taking the loss. So I was interested to see where it's going to go. But then, as always, fucking the tag team show happens, doesn't it? And all those other fucking bellends come back out again. Street Profits are there for some reason. Viking Raiders again. It's just fucking shit, man. It's the same stuff every week. And then fucking Street Profit guy, I'm not sure if it was the Rope Shaker or the other fella, gets on the fucking mic and then goes, "We should make this an 8-man tag." And then Aleister fucking Black isn't even in it. So it's like, what the fuck? It didn't make any sense. The main event was fucking Rollins and Black, and then these guys come out again and go, "No, the main event of Raw can only ever be our tag team, so you fuck off, Aleister Black, and we'll have another tag team thing." And it's like, oh my god.
And naturally, Aleister's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, he just wasn't nice.
He's a reasonable guy, old Aleister,
Well, yeah. So
I mean, to be fair, he enjoys having a sit down, so that's probably what he did.
Yeah, I just think it's just another shit main event, isn't it? It's another tag team thing. The same fucking people it is all the time. Who gives a fuck about the Viking Raiders? Who gives a fuck about the Street Profits? We only care about Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, so just fuck the rest of them off. You could have quite easily had a fucking Aleister Black and Seth Rollins decent match. You didn't have to have any of them lose. It could have been a disqualification or something. Owens could have got involved, maybe. But fucking hell, why does every fucking man and his dog have to fucking get involved? Oh, I shouldn't really mention the dog after Drew killed it, but yeah,
no, Drew. It was a bit of a poor finish. I'll be honest. I think sometimes they go, more people, throw more people in, that'll help. And it doesn't help. That's the only reason I can explain the Viking Raiders being there.
Yeah, I'm just tired of it now. I think to watch a show for 3 hours and then always the big build towards the end of the fucking show is all these fucking C-list tag teams, and then Kevin Owens and Rollins somewhat involved for some reason. I don't know. I'm tired of it now. I feel like they need to just fuck all that off and just have Rollins and Owens just do their own thing, because I literally don't want to watch this fucking tag team shit again.
Yeah, it's getting it got very stale very quick anyway, but it is getting stale.
It's just on repeat every week. It's just, come on, you got to stop. So that was Raw. From a rating standpoint, I couldn't give it any higher than a 2. I just felt, I think I'm probably even being generous with a 2. It's probably closer to a fucking 1.5, but I'll stick with a 2. It was just so unmemorable. Do you know what I mean? The key things that stood out was, stuff I didn't even like. So it was like the Drew McIntyre and Eric Rowan match.
Yeah.
Did my head in because they killed the spider off. The AJ promo did me head in because it was about fucking Mark Calloway. And then Edge and Orton thing did me head in because he took out MVP. Nothing else was memorable, and nothing else progressed any storyline. So waste of time.
Yeah. No, I'm firmly in the same boat. I mean, I was honestly toying with a 3, but then when you look at it objectively, you go, there's a lot more misses than hits there, and even the stuff that I was enjoying, they've managed to do some damage to. So I'm firmly with you on that. It's a 2, being generous. So I'm in the same boat.
This is a clip from our weekly podcast, A2theK WrestleTalk. The full show can be found on Spotify, Apple, Google, and pretty much anywhere else that you find your podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and we hope you enjoy.